Welcome back. You could be one of millions of homeowners to see a reduction on your home loan. A landmark $25 billion settlement with the nation's top mortgage lenders will help reduce loans for homeowners who owe more than their home is worth. About 1 million households at risk of foreclosure will receive help, and $2,000 will be sent to about 250,000 Americans who were improperly foreclosed upon from 2008 to 2011. 49 states joined the settlement, and government officials are still negotiating with 14 other lenders. You can find out if you're included by going to myfoxdc.com. We have posted a link under the Money tab. Now, while government officials hailed the settlement, many consumer advocates say it doesn't help enough people. This morning, Anthony Sanders, a senior scholar at the Mercatus Center in George Mason University, joins us to talk about the latest on this. Thank you for coming in, sir. And I just mentioned that some say this is great, it's wonderful, we needed this. Some say, well, it doesn't do enough, and you have a different point of view about it.
Well, my point of view is that it's a huge settlement, and it's for about 1 million people, so that's $25,000 per borrower if you just average it out. But the point is that it's not what you think it is. It sounds like a settlement. It's attorney generals who are again elected officials, politicians, and what it is it's really just another refi program like the one President Obama wants to push on the FHA, or HARP 2, which is Fannie and Freddie, our neighbors down the street. And this is really, again, just another refi plan. It's because here's the problem. When everyone hears robo-signing, which sounds terrible, and it is, a sloppy paperwork, bear in mind that 100% of those people defaulted on their loans. And this was the lender trying to get their collateral back, which is their due according to law. So it's not like these were innocent victims sitting in their homes that did nothing and the house got repossessed. These were people that defaulted already. And some were staying in their homes up to 2 to 3 years after they defaulted. So again, I wouldn't view that, this is not a correction for that. That's what it says. But it's really about something else.
But isn't it a correction for, I mean, you know, the crash of the housing market was very complicated. It was a long time in coming, and a wide variety of things caused it. You know, easy money for people who maybe shouldn't have had loans and all that kind of stuff. People did fall behind and all of that. Isn't it, maybe it doesn't address robo-signing, what happened there exclusively, but doesn't it in fact help people who did get in trouble? Some of them, you know, of their own doing. Some of them were in situations that they probably shouldn't have been in anyway. But doesn't it help get those people out of trouble and then overall help get us back on steadier ground?
Well, there's two aspects to the settlement. The first one is that the $1,500 to $2,000 per household that actually went into foreclosure. Now, again, that's like Eli Manning wins the Super Bowl, loses his arm in an accident in the offseason, we send him a check for $1,500. I don't think Eli's going to be too thrilled with that. That's all I get.
Right.
It's not big enough in that dimension. But again, as I said, these people did default. So it's really a very complicated, you're right, it's a very complicated issue. In terms of the principal reductions, those sound good. There's no evidence out there. Because I've done this from Wall Street, and I've done this as a business.
You were with the Deutsche Bank.
Deutsche Bank, that's correct.
Deutsche Bank.
And we never found any evidence that principal reductions actually do much. What causes for people to go into default is job loss, divorce, and usually huge medical bills. Again, but it's nice if you're one of the parties receiving it. And again, before everyone gets too excited about this, there's going to be a trustees appointed to dole out the $25 million.
Right.
Think of how that's going to work.
It will take the $25 billion.
Billion, sorry.
And it will take time. I mean, this is not something that's going to be handled next week.
Absolutely. It's not an instant fix. This could take a couple of years.
But I guess here's what I'm trying to understand. Isn't it better? I understand, you know, that some say, and they're right, well, $2,000, that's not a lot. That's not going to help me a whole lot. But doesn't it help to some extent? And doesn't it try to start to make some people whole or get them on the path to being made whole again? And then again, buoying up the economy overall.
On the blowing up the economy, I would say no. Again, the whole theory, and my friends Chris Mayer, Columbia, and Glenn Hubbard, who's Romney's economic advisor, are all in favor of these type of things. I pointed out, when you do all the math, it turns out to be less than 0.5% of consumption expenditures, which is really 70% of GDP. It'll be a drop in the bucket. But the issue is if you want people to start working their way out of a hole, yeah, this could be helpful.
All right, this is, when you came in and sat down, I said, we've got 4 minutes. We can't solve the whole issue here, but I thank you for coming in and providing a different insight into it as well. We appreciate it.
Thanks for
Anthony
having me.
Sanders, yeah, thanks for coming.